Okay, hello there guys and welcome to another video by NRM fan 4472. I'm back today with yet another review. Today we're doing it on something rather special. You all probably know because of the description. And here it is. The National Railway Museum Flying Scotsman. This is the version released by the National Railway Museum and is based on the version also created by the National Railway Museum. This includes the double chimney and the German style smoke deflectors. Now obviously this is probably the most powerful type of Flying Scotsman that's ever going to be available. However, we can't really put it to the test considering the real one isn't really in active service yet, that is. It has to go back into service the way I see it because there's just been so much money pumped into it and it just has to go. And probably when the NRM are finished with it, they'll probably sell it off to another willing millionaire. So enough chatter about the Flying Scotsman. We shall go into more detail about that once we get the Locomotive open. So I've repackaged all of this perfectly and as best I can. So let's take a look. You see, we take the sleeve off and it's teasing you again with the white cover on the front. Now, I should point out first, just before I open the Locomotive, this was acquired at the National Railway Museum when I went for the Mallard 75 celebrations, and it was acquired for about £115. Now, in my eyes, that's a little bit too much money, but it's the Flying Scotsman and I won't be buying another one. I will take extremely good care with this. So if we just open the box at that end, and we slide it out, bringing the cover along with it. Our instructions should drop out. Let's just drop that on the floor. I'm going to leave that covered. Now here's our instructions. These are just all the usual stuff. Class A1/A3, and these are just all the maintenance instructions. This is all usually the same, especially if you've got something that's been made by the same company, e.g. the LNER and the LMS, because they're all more or less the same. And our DCC jacket, IC82, you love these, don't you? Right, let's take the cover off. It's teasing you again with the tissue paper. I don't think anybody really likes this. I hope they get rid of it. Up here, just in there, there is usually a detail pack. Those come with the cylinder cocks, the unflangeless wheel, which you can put on the rear, which I already have fitted, and there's a number of other things as well. So if we just slide these two off here, this is the best packaging ever, in my opinion, because you can just get it off really easily. So you just take these two plastic covers off if you like, or plastic holders or clippers or whatever, and we take the front cover off. That comes off really easily as well, and we just lift this off the top. It's as simple as that. And here we are. There's the Flying Scotsman herself. And here is the tender. We shall take a look at the tender as always to leave you guys thirsty for more. This is just a standard Gresley tender. I think the capacity is 3.5 gallons. I'm not too sure on the tonnage of coal that can be fitted, but this is a very, very well detailed tender. As you can see, we've got all of the red lines on the axle boxes. We've got brake rods on the bottom as well. Upside down, we've got our crisply moulded livery and LNER logos on the side. Sprung buffers as per usual, that's becoming quite a standard. And we also have overhead warning stickers for the electric cables, because obviously this is the NRM version, and the NRM version of the Flying Scotsman, the real Flying Scotsman that is, came to light in about 2004-2005. So these do have the overhead warning stickers. I'm not particularly keen on them, but it's okay. It makes it more prototypical for the NRM Flying Scotsman. Now we do have a little red logo just there. I'm not too sure what that is. I'm assuming that's to do with, obviously, again, the overhead wires, because it is red. And we do have some what look like injectors just there. Let's have a closer look at those. Those look like injectors. We also have our lovely handrails as well. Once again, very crisply moulded. We also have a little description of, I think, the tender specs. If you can see that little black logo with the little gold writing on it, I think that's something to do with the specifications of the tender. And the decoder does go in the tender conveniently, because I didn't want to take the Flying Scotsman apart. As we can see by the little socket just there, we can plug our DCC plug into there. And we also have a small tension lock coupling, and they are NEM. That's normal European modelling for you people out there. And I think that's about it for the tender. The tender is very, very good. All the wheels roll very, very nicely across the rails. No derailment problems from it. I'd say my only complaint is the fact that you do struggle to get it back on. There are a few clips you need to get into place, and that is quite annoying. You see that it isn't really on properly for the keen-eyed. You'll see that it hasn't really gone on properly. Anyway, let's stop going on about the tender. Let's have a look at the locomotive itself. Let's put the tender to one side. Let's take the tissue paper off and let's lift her. I'm going to grab her by the smoke deflectors and the cab because they're the strongest points, and just lift her out as such. What can I say about this loco? It's one of my favourites. It's not my favourite, but it is one of my favourites. It's a locomotive that partially got me into trains. I remember first seeing this locomotive at Malton going past at high speed, and the memory is just cemented in my head forever. And this is just as I remember her. This is why I bought this locomotive. I just fell in love the moment I saw it. Right, let's go into detail. We'll start on the side. This locomotive is very delicate, by the way, very, very delicate. She's got plenty of weight to her, as all LNER locomotives have, and they're very, very heavy indeed. We have the German-style smoke deflectors, and on the side you can't really make it out, but I think it says 1923 made in Doncaster. We also have the overhead lines and a very, very handsome dome and chimney. If we go across, we shall see... Oh, don't take that off. We have the safety valves, once again another overhead warning stickers. And we also have these. I think those are for cleaning out the boiler when it comes to maintenance. We also have roof panels just here. Those are movable. That's a very, very nice touch indeed. We have a very nicely applied 4472 logo on the side and some lovely handrails to go with it as well. Now, if we look inside the cab, we shall see we have a lot of detailing in there. Now, it's very, very, very nice that Hornby do incorporate this into their locomotives. Although we can't see it the vast majority of the time, it is very, very convenient it's there, because it just gives us the sense that there is a lot of detail in there. And once again, if we go to the other side, it's the same story. I forgot to mention the Flying Scotsman logo. It's not etched, unfortunately. It should be, considering how special this locomotive is. We have our Walshart's valve gear, valve gear as a whole. Now, I should point out, I have undertaken a valve gear replacement on this locomotive. I have replaced it with some A4 style valve gear, because the A3 style valve gear, the rotary clip just there, where my finger's on, that went down quite a considerable length. So it really got to me, because it wasn't very prototypical and it was just very unrealistic. So I undertook doing a replacement, and it came out very, very well. It was my very first valve gear replacement, and it went extremely well. It is loco drive, as you know, as every other locomotive is nowadays. Now, I had to take the brake wads off in order to get the locomotive back in the packaging without damaging it, and oh, it's just very gentle with her. Got to be very, very gentle. If we have a look at the front, we shall see that's a very, very capturing angle, I think. We have number 4472, Class A3, and underneath the 4472 you shall see York, because that's where she's based in now. Lovely sprung buffers. Oh, that one seems to be stuck. I'll have to see to that. I wonder what's happened to that. I think a bit of super glue may have dropped in there somehow. I think that's about it. No broken lamp irons yet. We've got one on the top, that silver one, and we've got 3 at the bottom as well. We've got a lovely braking pipe, or pressure pipe if you like, for the brakes, and we've got a small 3-link coupler as well. In case you wanted to use it, I wouldn't advise it. They're very, very fiddly indeed. So, to sum up this locomotive, for me, it's one of the most iconic in the world, as it is for many other people as well. And I think many people around the world will agree that this locomotive is truly what defines Britain in my eyes. This locomotive captured the nation, captured its love, and indeed it still has, as shown by our persistency to try and get it running again. And I can assure you, my viewers, that she will run again. That I can promise you. You will see this 76 times bigger, thundering down the East Coast Main Line definitely within the next year. I can guarantee you no longer than that. Well guys, thank you very much for watching this very special review. There will be a layout update very, very soon, and I hope you enjoy all the exciting content I have to offer in the future. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and enjoy the following content.